If you have a story or a topic that you would like to explore with us, please get in touch using one of the links in the description. We are recording interviews now. All events depicted in this podcast are real. However, the names, locations, and some details have been changed for the privacy of those involved. Hello and welcome to Walking on Eggshells with an Emotional Vampire, a podcast that above all things is about family. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, this was easy.
It's so much easier, and it records straight away on my end, so it makes it really easy.
In case you're unclear on what's going on right now,
That's nice.
let me explain. I just got some fancy new recording software that I'm testing out on Maggie for the first time.
I can do stuff like put sounds on here, like I can go like this and play like, ooh, piano.
Oh, you can be sad and serious.
And then we can get excited and have some drums in there. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's, yeah.
Oh, this is fun. I like this.
Yeah, and there's a chat box here as well.
I was supposed to be testing it out on Aria, but she was late.
Aria's supposed to be in here, but she hasn't shown up yet. I'll message her again. She's probably sleeping.
It's understandable. It is
Not
pretty
understandable. I told her to be here.
Good morning.
Hey, you're
Good
there.
morning.
So I think we're recording already, Aria.
Yes, I can see
So
it.
overall, this is just very fancy.
Yeah.
It is very fancy.
And check out this, Aria. I can do things like this. Ooh.
Oh my god.
I love it.
I
It's
wish
so
old
dramatic.
Maggie was here to witness this.
Ellie's not here today. That's too early for her, so she hasn't made it.
It's very early for me as well.
5:30 would be very early for me.
Aria,
Well,
tell a joke. Tell a joke. Something funny, like a short punny joke. Do it.
Why is the sea wet?
Why is the sea wet? I don't know.
Oh, why?
Because the seaweed.
I'm gonna have to tell my son that one because he has like multiple joke books, and that's actually one that we have not heard yet.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's a new joke.
That was a joke that Mum told me when I was a kid.
I've heard it too. Yeah.
She loved it. And it's as much as my brain could conjure up.
You've got to.
Well, it's early, so
when you tell the son, you've got to also bring like a little recording so you can do that at the end of it as well.
little knee slapper. Oh, he'd love that.
Yeah.
If I had one of those though, the kids would abuse it. They would use it way too much.
And you don't think Lucas will abuse it?
Yeah.
I do actually, based on the minute and 53 seconds we've spent in this recording, there's a possibility.
So Maggie, I was super happy with your episode. Like literally when you were telling it and we were listening, the whole time I was thinking like, okay, we have to do more of these. Like this is amazing stuff.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed talking with you guys, and it was a lot of fun for me, but also like healing, and yeah, I've just enjoyed not only like talking with you guys, but listening to your story too.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the big thing is or the hope is that people actually get something out of it, because if it's just us mining people's traumatic family stories and they get nothing out of it, then it's not really worthwhile. But yeah, I'm so adamant about anyone that I record. I want to make sure that they're happy with the episode before I release it, because I don't want to make anyone, I don't know, upset or fuck up anyone's family lives or anything like that.
Well, if they're here, chances are they're probably fucked up already. But it could get a little worse.
For sure. Anyway, getting back on topic, I did do something,
Maggie. So after your episode, I was sort of inspired, and I was like, okay, I've got to make a promo for the next episode, because if people miss that episode and then have to listen and then listening in just on episode 3, or the second part, then they wouldn't know what was going on. So I made this promo, but I wanted you to listen to it and see what you think of it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. It's coming. It's just building up.
In case you missed last week's episode, here's what you need to know. Maggie's early childhood was like that of any other regular New England girl. That is, any regular New England girl whose daycare centre was the gyrating change room of a neon suburban gentleman's club and came complete with smoking and cursing 20-something-year-old dancers who played baby stripper dress-ups with 5-year-old Maggie as they hand-fed her chicken fingers. I'm not sure why this is exactly, but of that whole story, it's the chicken fingers that stands out the most for me. But not as much as the time when 13-year-old Maggie stayed home from school sick to smoke a fat party blunt with her mum rolled on President Barack Obama's face. But let's try not to get sidetracked here, because what you really need to know is about the time that Maggie's brother burned down the family home using a super firework. Or maybe it's Maggie's mother's crack binge with her new drug dealer boyfriend that you need to hear about. No, I'm wrong. The real standout is when 16-year-old Maggie was left home alone and starving, while her mum went on a week-long bender with Vince Neil from Motley Crue. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. If you missed the last episode, you can work it out for yourself.
Nice.
Oh my god. That was perfect. Spot on. Didn't miss.
I did have a brief moment where I was like, am I insulting her here by making
No,
this?
no, not at all. Not insulted. Totally okay with that. Yeah, that about sums it up. That's how it happened. It sounds crazy and wild, but that was my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is wild
Goodness.
and crazy.
Yep. No, that was perfect.
Yeah, and the chicken fingers, man, it's like I kept, every time I listen to it, you're like, they fed me chicken fingers, and I'd be like, oh my god, why does the chicken fingers stand out to me so much? But there's something about strippers just hand feeding you chicken fingers that stuck in my head.
I feel like I try to make it sound, because it like was it bad? Yes, but also like there were some cool parts of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like when the guy that owned the strip club would like let me go to Toys R Us and pick out toys. Like that, like who would not love that? That's really cool. Like that's a cool thing for a kid, you know?
I feel like that makes it worse for me because that's like, now it's, I mean, it shows a lot of time was spent there, but the owner felt sorry for you and was like, okay, we've got to get this kid some toys.
I got like this giant stuffed, it was like a stuffed husky dog. Like it was probably like as tall, it was probably like 4 feet tall. And just this massive dog. I just come back to the stripping, like the dressing room with this thing. And my mom's like, what is that? I'm like, oh, Russell got it for me.
It is funny. I just realized because you said you were saying I was going to the dressing room, but you almost called it the stripping room. But it's like
I was,
it's the only
yeah.
job where you go to the back room to get dressed and to the public area just to get
exactly.
Oh my
get
gosh.
dressed in the back and then strip in the front. But yeah, I feel like I try to like lighten the mood with it. So I'm like, oh yeah, it wasn't all that bad. Like, yeah, there were drugs and swearing and I saw a bunch of naked women. Not like it's a big deal because I'm like a woman now, like whatever, but still kind of weird as like a child.
Well,
But
it's all enhanced women too, right? Like,
yes,
I
these are all
mean,
women with very fake boobs. I'll be 32 next month, and I've had zero, like I have no desire to do Botox or touch anything or do anything because like my mom went so crazy with that stuff, and that's like all I saw as a kid was fake bodies. And yeah, I don't remember real bodies. I remember big fake boobs, lots of big fake boobs.
yeah. And speaking of big fake boobs, after we finished the first recording, you sent me a picture of you. And in the picture, I think you're like 5 or 6 years old or something.
I think I was like 5 or 6.
And you're with the dancers in a
Yep.
group, and then you're there dressed as a stripper.
Mhm.
But the thing that's the craziest about that picture is that you've got a bunch of, I don't know if they're dollars or whatever, stuffed into your little baby garter belt or whatever it is.
Yep. Yeah, they fully dressed me up to commit to the bit.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I felt I needed to send that picture because half the time, like, I don't tell a lot of stories to people, but when I do, I feel like I need to prove it because I'm like, you're not gonna believe me that this is like this is real because this sounds insane. But I was a little baby stripper.
Absolutely. It's one of those ones. I'm the same way. If you tell a crazy story, you feel like people are like, they're just exaggerating. But
Yeah. And I'm like, no, this is real. Like this.
for anyone
I wish
listening,
I was making it up.
Maggie's definitely not exaggerating. I literally have a photo of it in my phone.
Yes. You have seen the baby stripper.
Yeah. Okay, so last time when we spoke, we got through to it was basically the time that your mum went to California to pursue the dream of being a comedian.
Yes. Yeah, she wanted to be a comedian.
And then you were, I guess, left alone, and you
Yeah.
were 16, 17.
Yes. Yeah, she we're from the United States, and I'm from the East Coast, and she left to go to the West Coast, which is where Los Angeles is, to go to Hollywood and get famous as a comedian.
How successful was that?
The only thing that she successfully did was overdose on meth, and date a guy who claims he was a DJ for the Black Eyed Peas, and I've tried to fact check that for years, and I'll never know. I'll never know about that. DJ Derek. If you're listening to this,
Derek,
you
DJ
explain.
Derek.
Derek.
All right, Aria, this is your job. Find out if DJ Derek was ever for the Black Eyed Peas.
Yes.
Aria's real good at this stuff. She I use her for everything.
Yeah, it's DEREK. So, but no, she never actually successfully did anything. When I was thinking about it earlier today, when I got my license, I called her because I was obviously excited that I just got my license, and she was like, "Hey, so I'm actually about to go on stage to do a performance, so can I call you later?" I'm like, "All right, bye."
When was this that you called her? This was recently, or this
was ages ago. Her and I haven't spoken in almost 2 years. Okay. This was when I was 16 and she was out there, trying to make it big, and I had called her.
Okay, so you were talking with your mum until about 2 years ago, but how was the relationship before that?
Before we stopped talking, our relationship was complicated, and it got more complicated when I got sober and when I went into therapy and when I became a mom. Because I became a mom and my first thought was, what the fuck was all that? Because I don't know if that's happened to you since like having a child where like you are like, yeah, I wouldn't do that as a parent. Like I could not imagine doing XYZ as a parent.
Yeah, I think a lot of that happens with becoming a parent. I've noticed you start to criticize everyone about the choices they make with their kids. Yeah. I think you just can't help it because you've got a frame of reference now.
Yeah.
So with your mum, like before, like even growing up, was your mum like your hero? Was it like that sort of thing, or
no? I was terrified of her. She wasn't like super physically abusive, but she would like spank and hit, and she would like react quickly to things. Like I had gotten a couple like backhands, one where like a ring caught my lip, and like she didn't mean to make me bleed. And even now, like I'm justifying, like, well, she didn't mean to make me bleed. No, like I could not imagine now like hitting one of my kids and accidentally making them bleed. Like, but no, she was like kind of abusive and highly reactive, and if you did the things that you knew she wanted you to do, which would usually go against what you wanted to do yourself, you'd be fine. So yeah, I kind of it's funny because emotional vampire is what we call her, and we would always talk about walking on eggshells around her. So
yeah,
your podcast name kind of describes what it was growing up with her.
It's funny because I spent the last episode of the podcast talking about how cool I thought your mum was, and when I listened to it back as well, I was like, man, I'm just talking about how cool her mum is. This is pretty bad because you're telling us this story about this crazy childhood, and I'm like, wow, your mum sounds amazing. But
You were like that, though.
The thing is, she sounds cool. Like, she does. But like then you like and I think that's how it is with everything. Like then you start digging at the layers and like what's under it, and you're like, oh, damn, you're really actually not cool. You're a bad person.
well, and this is the thing, is that I actually put in my notes, like I wanted to find out more about the relationship that you had with your mum at the time. And then also I specifically wanted to hear about like if your mum was aggressive or angry, because it is funny. Like when I was listening after I finished, I was like, I imagine this person never getting angry, or never, like, it just, in my head, I had this idea of like, she's sort of cool and neglectful, but I didn't know if she was openly like straight out abusive or hurtful.
Yeah.
But it sounds like she
Yeah.
was.
She was. And like, so I was more mentally abused and my brother was more physically abused. And she one time went to go like kick my brother that's 3 years younger than me. She went to go like kick him because he said something that she didn't like, and he went to go run away from her. So her instinct, I guess, was to like kick her foot out and try to kick him, and she kicked so hard but she missed him and hit the door and broke her toe. And she jokes,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
but she jokes about it with people in our family. She'll be like, yeah, that time I went to go whoop his ass and I missed and I hit the door and broke my toe. Like, you don't realize that you're saying you missed hitting your child so hard that you broke a bone when it hit something else. Like, there was enough force behind your kick to break a bone.
It also sucks because you get the satisfying knowledge that she went to do something nasty and broke her foot, and it should be like, ha ha, but then she's turned it into like a fun for her anecdote. Like, so
Yeah.
it's
Which is like, that's her thing. Everything that she's like done to us, she turns into like, she tries to make it funny or like find humor in it. Like she actually, I'm not sure if I had told you this when we had first started talking, but I'm pretty sure when I had met you is when I was going through a really crazy incident with my mom. Last year, she got a restraining order on me because she tried to get one. It got dropped because I didn't do anything, but she had posted a video on her TikTok page. She posted a lot of videos on her TikTok page, and her and I were no contact. And the videos were like memes with what she calls dark humor, which is not dark humor. I know dark humor. I'm okay with dark humor. It's not dark humor. It's a picture of one of my kids, and over it is like, I forget exactly what the words were saying, but it was a picture of my son giving the middle finger, and I had sent it to my mom like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was supposed to just be a funny like stay in the family picture of, look, he has no idea what he's doing right now kind of thing. And she took it and she made it into a child abuse meme and said, if this was my kid, there'd be x-rays and a hospital visit. And so,
God.
and mind you, I don't talk to her. I don't talk to her because she abused me. And so I send her a message and I'm like, you need to take that down or I'm going to report it. And so I'm sitting in my living room with my mother-in-law, and I look, who's a saint, thank God. I look outside and I see the police for my town roll up, and I'm like, that motherfucker. I knew already. And my mother-in-law, who's so sweet, she's like, no, I don't think that's for you. I'm like, nope, my mom called the police. She called the police. I know she did. But yeah, she tried to say that I have she's scared for her life, and I have a long history of alcohol abuse, which I've been sober for almost 9 years now. And that she's scared for her livelihood, meaning her TikTok page, because I said I was going to report this image of my kid. The judge literally laughed and was like, this is going nowhere.
Oh, I'm guessing she's got a record as well, I'm guessing, behind her. So
yeah, she has. I have an old restraining order against her because she like dragged me by the hair down a hallway. And then yeah. And so I left and I went and stayed with a family member, and she was like obsessively blowing up my phone. This is like kind of right before she went to California. And I think kind of what like drove her to California, because at this point I was like reactive and like fighting back and like, nope, this isn't cool, don't like this, I'm not going to be abused anymore. Kind of lost my train of thought with that one, but
Well, I'll say firstly, I'll say that I no longer think that your mum is cool. She actually sounds like a fucking asshole, actually, now.
Yeah, she is an asshole.
But also, we talked about your superpower. So it was courage under fire and also somewhat fearless. And it sounds like, I mean, you realized pretty early that you weren't happy about it, or like you weren't going to take it. That's pretty awesome too, because I think it takes people much longer than 17 years of age to
And I think
come to that.
That's why she didn't like me, and why our relationship was so strained, because I've never been okay with the way she treated me. I've never been okay with the way she treated other people. And I would say things, and it got to a point where like I stopped saying things because of her reaction, but I was clocking everything she's doing and watching it. And like I truly believe she's a narcissist. But like she would say things in front of people, like she'd be like, oh my, because I basically raised both my brothers, like I was the built-in babysitter, one of those situations where I was like, I think it's called parentified, and like thrown into like the mom role for them. But she would tell people all the time, like, she's so good, she helps me so much, I don't know what I would do without her out in public. And then the second we get in the car, she'd be like, you're so fucking lazy, you do nothing at home, you're lucky you have a roof over your head. Like, and I'd be like, why did you just say XYZ in front of so and so, and now you're saying this in the car? And she would just stare at me and be like, why is she questioning why I did that? Like, I'd question her and I would challenge her, and I was always respectful, and I never was like, I wasn't an asshole teen, but I was like 100% never okay with anything that she was doing. And I think that's why we did not get along, like, ever.
You talk about, I know in the last episode as well, you said that your brother was your pride and joy, your little brother.
Yeah.
Is that's the super firework kid, or that's a different kid?
That's a different kid.
That's a different kid. Okay.
Yes.
And I think that one, I think got taken away, or that he went somewhere else.
Yes. So she, when the fire happened and she split us all up, she sent him with his dad. So his dad took custody of him when he was like 5, and we're 11 years apart.
Okay.
But his dad and I always had a good relationship, and so I was able to remain like super close with my brother and would go visit him on the weekends. And at this point, like, I'm able to drive and I have friends with cars and stuff. So even if my mom's useless, like, I was making a point to like still be in my brother's life.
And that's a lot of effort for someone so young to be able to maintain that relationship.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's got something to do with why you came to the realization that you didn't like your mum so early.
It's hard. Yeah.
Because, maybe she broke up that relationship, and that's what brought you to that conclusion so quickly.
Yeah. I definitely, I care about how I'm treated, and that's fine, but like I can take a lot. But then when I'm definitely like an empath, so when I start seeing like the people I care about, like I have a very hard time and get very uncomfortable when the people I care about aren't okay. And so when I love this person so much and I know that they're not okay, and I'm in a position where I really can't do anything about it, that's hard.
Man, that's brutal stuff. Like and not to lighten the mood up too much here, but I used ChatGPT to see if Derek played for the Black Eyed Peas as a DJ. ChatGPT says no. The core Black Eyed Peas members are will.i.am, Apple Diap. Is that how you say that? Taboo, Fergie, J Ray Soul. So DJs.
So
DJ Derek. I'm not sure about that one.
It's looking like a no, which is honestly the vibe I got from when I met him. He didn't strike me as somebody who had a decent job.
I also Googled it and came up with nothing.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys.
Well, I know the soundbite that I'm going to play for that one, and it's going to go, "You are bust."
Oh, goodness.
He lied.
He lied.
It's unsurprising that The meth head lied.
Yeah.
Do any of your siblings still have a good relationship with your mum?
So my littlest brother and I aren't speaking currently because he does have a relationship with my mom. Not my choice to be not speaking, by the way. But yeah, he has a close relationship with my mom. And then my other brother he claims that he's only having a relationship with her because his religion tells him he needs to, but I don't know how I feel about that one. He's not actually religious.
It sounds like you've got an interesting, eclectic mix of family members there.
They're allowed to have their relationships. We had different perspectives and different lives when it came to her, and I can't expect them to like heal the way that I've healed. I was lucky enough to like get sober and go into therapy, see things a little bit more clearly. And maybe they'll get there, but yeah, at this point they still unfortunately they both have relationships with her of varying degrees.
It's hard when it's your parents.
Yeah.
And are you the oldest?
Yes, I'm the oldest.
So you might be further along the journey than they are. I know we all, me and all the siblings have gone through different phases. I always thought from the start, Dad was the hero and Mum was always the villain.
Yeah.
But it's taken me more than a decade to come to the conclusion that they've both got their problems. It wasn't just one or the other.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe eventually your brothers will get there. Maybe it's just going to take a minute. But yeah, do you think they will? Do you think they'll come around?
I honestly, I don't really. There's a way that it has to happen, I think, and maybe I'm like wrong, but like after spending so much time doing therapy and like not only therapy, but like I said, like I got sober like 9 years ago, and I've sat in so many AA meetings and I've listened to so many stories, and like there's generally a way that you have to do it in order to like get better. But you have to be willing to do those things. And I'm not just talking about like AA, like this can be for like mental health too, or just like anything. And you kind of have to just turn it over and accept that you have a problem and like then go out and get the help and you can heal. And I don't ever see either of them like fully surrendering. I see them surrounded by too many people because I'm cut off from a lot of family members on my mom's side, but I see them like surrounded by too many people who keep them in the same patterns and encourage this toxic cycle that they're in, and don't talk about things and sweep things under the rug, and just nobody talks about anything and nothing's ever dealt with, nothing ever changes. And unless they were to like completely break out of that and remove themselves from those people and do some like serious like deep work, I don't think that they're going to come around, because I just think the way that our family is, it's just been way too much damage done.
They always talk about rock bottom, right? You've got to hit rock bottom first, and then then that's where you can rebuild from there.
Yeah.
But it's the frog in the boiling water. Like if you're constantly in it, you don't realize.
Exactly. Like I never understood when I would hear people say, I just need space to think. And then I like took space from my family, and I could see things so much clearer, and I could like process things and go through things a lot more. And taking space was the best thing that I ever did, because I could truly like see what had been going on. And the more you surround yourself with people that aren't your family, the more you start seeing like, oh no, my family didn't do this. We didn't do that. We didn't, like, you start seeing like things that are like toxic or not normal, and you either don't care or you don't want to be a part of it. And if you don't want to be a part of it, then you like go on a healing journey, I guess.
I absolutely agree with this. It's perspective, right? You get that perspective right away. Because I found for years, maybe even more than a decade after being removed from the family, after leaving home, I still was doing these things that were detrimental And then it took me like 10, 15 years to be like, man, I'm following these patterns of these things that make no sense. And then finally
Yeah.
I got my head around that, like, this doesn't make sense. This is a stupid thing. It's just an ideal that had been drummed into my head. But then you realize, like, okay, I don't have to do it this way. I can be completely different, and it's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's actually better. And that was the wrong way to go forward.
Yeah.
But it takes perspective once you get away and you talk to people.
Yeah, you have to like just, you have to be selfish for a little bit and think about yourself, which is hard because I mean, in the family that I grew up in, it wasn't like that. We were always thinking about keeping my mom happy. But yeah, I had to think about myself and get some new perspective and get some space and do some healing. And like I would welcome my brothers back, any family member back. I would welcome them back, but it would have to be like in an honest setting where, like, if they did something, I could be like, hey, what you just did kind of upset me. And they wouldn't be like, you're a piece of shit, I'm not going to talk to you, and I'm going to turn the whole family against you and give you the silent treatment. Because that's like basically what happens. Like, I don't want to live like that.
Families are so fucked up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just started doing that with mum and dad. When they start having a go at me about something, I say, no, I wasn't a crap child.
No, you were not.
Like, no. And then they get taken aback because for so many years I just like sit and listen and just take it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not eating the shit anymore. I'm not going to
Nope.
do it.
I am not subscribing to your issue anymore.
Yeah. I'm really interested in the rehab side of things, and then how you came to that and all of that stuff, and what drove you to that. Yeah, but yeah, if you're not comfortable, let me know. But
no,
but I'd love to.
I'm super comfortable talking about that. It's not a part of my life that I'm like ashamed of, because it's insane that I survived it. I should probably be dead based on how I was living, but I'm not. Yeah, so I mean, I started smoking at 13 with my mom, and I started drinking at 13 too, and my mom would never like actively supply it. Like, we couldn't be like, hey, can you go get us a handle of vodka or whatever. But she wouldn't say anything if we took something out of the fridge. And she also, like, if me and my friends were drunk, she wouldn't be like, what are you guys doing? Like, she thought it was funny, and she would come like joke around with us. So she was like aware that I was young and using substances and didn't have an issue with it. But I had friends that also drank like I drank, and we drank a lot in high school. We were like the weekend warrior types. If there was a party, I was at the party. I was throwing the parties too when I was able to. I threw like 3 blacklight parties one weekend, like all back to back to back, and then hopped on a plane and went and saw my mom in Los Angeles.
Oh my god, how old are you here?
But 16.
Oh wow, that's
16.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
Yeah, but when people now, when I'm like, yeah, I don't drink, they're like, oh, you're boring. I'm like, you have no idea the things that I've done and seen. Like, I've seen enough to not drink anymore.
But you were so you were at the house, like, where did you throw this party?
So my mom had a house for us. It was like this 3-story house that one of her sugar daddies was paying the bills on, and she basically would just fill it with food, turn the lights on. Sometimes things would go off. Sometimes I'd have to call her and be like, hey, this isn't working, or I need food money. But we had this big 3-story house that we kind of like floated in and out of during that time. And yeah, she'd leave like money hidden behind picture frames. But yeah, that all went to booze. Basically all I was doing was drinking during that time. A lot of drinking, lots and lots of drinking. I would drink at school. I would smoke weed before school. I would leave and go smoke weed down at the beach and then come back to school high. But I want to like clarify, I've also never been a shithead. Like, I've always been very nice. Like, I wasn't like a wild mean type of child. Like, I was just like going through something.
Did you finish school?
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
somehow.
because I also I drank a lot at school as well. There was a lot of drinking in my youth as well. So I get how you can juggle that and still make it through.
Yeah, like I still was very, I don't want to say normal, but it's not like it didn't look as bad as it was.
Yeah.
Um, and I just kept drinking. When I was 17, I was sexually assaulted,
Oh.
and that was like the catalyst for when I think that's like when my drinking turned from like I'm having fun to I'm an alcoholic.
Hmm.
And that's when I started drinking more alcoholically, and I would drink alone, and I would drink things that I didn't like to drink just to drink.
Hmm.
Um, and I kept doing that, but like it's hard when like I believe in the saying you're an average of who you hang out with, and everybody that I was hanging out with was doing the same things I was doing, so it was hard for me to see a problem in it. And my parents didn't really. My dad was sober at the time, but is an alcoholic. So I knew that there was a chance I had a problem with drinking. I had been to AA meetings as a kid, but I still thought that I had control over it. Like I didn't yet see it as a problem.
How long was this for?
13 to 23 is when I drank. And then, I had back in 2015, my best friend passed away of a drug overdose. And that's kind of like what kickstarted my sobriety journey, because I was like, oh shit, this isn't going to end well. I think I have a problem. So yeah, that kind of scared me. It didn't immediately scare me. It took like 13 months to be totally scared straight, but I went to rehab like 6 times in that span because I just did not stop trying. That's literally the only thing I like did right, was I just kept trying.
6 times
But
in the
yeah,
course of how many years?
13 months.
13 months, 6 times.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so what, are these like live-in rehabs? Do you go and stay there?
So the first one, I did it differently a couple of times. The first one I had been to more than once. And that one was like basically like a spin dry, and they can give you options for aftercare. But the first 1 to 2 times I went, I didn't do anything differently afterwards. I just basically went to detox because I was such a heavy drinker that I needed to medically detox. It was not safe for me.
Oh,
And you
Yeah,
had
like
goodness.
I would have seizures.
Wow.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
yeah, like it was very, very bad.
You said spin
It was very.
dry. What is this? What is that?
So that's like a term in the recovery world where basically you just go in and you're physically removed from your drug of choice. So like you're in a facility, you can't get access to what you normally have, but then you just leave and you go right back to your house. And some people rarely can do that
Mhm.
and be fine. But I wasn't one of those people. But I had to try that a couple times where I just go to like, basically I needed to be locked behind a door and away from alcohol to stop long enough to like detox. Like one, it was not safe for me to detox alone. But also I did not have like the mental capacity to stop drinking without being locked away somewhere to stop drinking.
Okay.
Like it was very, very bad for me.
And booze was your thing?
Yes.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
trying to. So you drank so much that you have seizures if you stopped. I can't even
Yeah.
imagine.
And I was like 120 pounds at that time, like tiny. I drank so much, and I would drink Fireball.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's what I was drinking at.
Oh,
Would gross. Like who does that? Who are like I don't even know who that person is or how it got that bad, but um
It's probably
yeah, I was
antimicrobial. Probably burnt some bacteria out or something as well. I guess it's like the
probably.
spices. I don't know.
I have so many health problems now, and I'm like, did I do this to myself? Like
when you say spin dry, I just imagine them putting someone in like a washing machine and like putting it on spin and spinning all the alcohol out
That
of
would be
I thought of the same
that
thing.
would be so torturous.
I literally
Ugh,
thought it was like put them on a spin cycle and then have them exercise
no.
out the
Yeah.
Like I was like, wow, did she go there and then work out ridiculously for 24 hours until she was booze free?
Rehab's actually kind of crazy because you like don't remember the first couple of days
Hmm.
of it, and it takes a day or two to snap out of it because they give you medication. They give you like comfort meds and meds to help you not have seizures.
Oh, of course.
And so like apparently one of the times I was there, I had been given a little bit too much of that medication and it messed me up way worse than they made me worse than when I got there. And one of the girls that was my roommates had to go find an RA and be like, "Hey, something's not right with her. She thinks she's on an airplane getting her nails done." And
Oh, gee.
yeah, so they had to like lower the dose a little bit on that one.
You said 6 times, right? So 6 times you went, and then
Yes.
so you
So
had this, it's the spin dry, and then you had some like live-in ones or some longer stay, or
at first I tried the spin dries, and then every time that I did it, I got a little bit more willing to try something else. So then the next time I was like, okay, I'll go into a sober house when I get out of here. But actually, I have to rewind because not only did I go to the sober house, but instead of just leaving the facility, I did a CSS step down program, which is like basically when you stay in the same building, but you're not on like a medical detox unit. You're just continuing care, but you're not like a danger to yourself anymore. Like you're not physically detoxing. This is like for the mental aspect of it now.
Mhm.
And so I did that. And I stayed for 45 days because
Wow.
I had nothing better to do besides try to not drink anymore. And they had a courtyard, so I literally just sat outside and threw rocks in a bucket. I had to spend Thanksgiving there, which I don't know if you celebrated that when you were in the States, but Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
It's amazing. I did it when I was over there a couple of times.
It,
It's so good.
it's so good, and I had to have like cafeteria Thanksgiving, and I think that's like what really made me stay sober. Never wanting to do that again. But yeah, I just I did my last rehab, and then I went into a sober house, and I didn't see any of my friends that I had for years, like my years long. I don't know if that's making sense. My old friends I didn't see. And I just dove into AA and became friends with people in my groups. I got really involved in AA. I got jobs in all the groups. I went on commitments, which is where you and your AA group go to like detoxes and jails, and you speak to the people that are in there. And like when I was in those places, there were people coming in and they would speak to us and share their stories. And so like then I went and did that because that's like, you're supposed to pay it forward in the program. And yeah, so I went and talked at a bunch of detoxes, and I met my husband in early recovery, and I think honestly that helped because he was also trying to get sober.
Uh-huh.
And his parents they each had 30 plus years of sobriety between the two of them, and were very active in AA. And my dad's in AA, and my stepdad, who my mom screwed things up with, but him and I are fine. He's in AA also. So I had a lot of support that got me there. But yeah, the summer of 2015 was absolutely insane. I ran myself into the ground until I went to my first rehab, and I haven't drank since 2016.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
congrats.
you.
That's
Thank you.
almost 10 years. Amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I like I had said, I had a friend that overdosed, and the week before he passed away, we were all I wasn't big into like cocaine, but we were all dabbling with it at the time and having some fun. And we had been out for like a whole weekend, and by the end of the weekend, like I was tired and I'm like, no, I'm done. Like I have to go to sleep. And I woke up on Sunday morning, and I don't know if you guys have ever done this, like if you've had a bad hangover and you're like praying to God to not kill you. You're like, please let me survive this and I'll never ever drink again, I swear. Um
I know Lucas has felt that way.
and it's one of those days where I was like begging God to not take me off this earth for the drinks I had the night before and the dry goods I put in my nose. And but I remember I had a conversation with myself in my head, and I was thinking that maybe I have a problem with drinking. But I was like, no, I probably don't. And then I was trying to think about like how how can I drink better, because I feel like I'm going to die, and maybe this is like the start of what my dad went through. Like maybe this is where I could make a turning point to like not be an alcoholic or whatever. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll only drink on the weekends. But then I was like, well, what if I have a friend who has a birthday on a Wednesday and they want to go out to dinner and drink? I'd have to drink on that day. So, like, even in that moment, like, I couldn't even think of potentially not drinking.
It sounds like they say the steps of grief,
Yeah.
because I guess it's like you're losing something, because
Yeah.
that's like bargaining is one of the steps of grief, right? You're bargaining
Yeah.
to try and get back what you've lost, and it
Yeah.
sounds like it's sort of similar. Like all these things kind of relate to each other, but it's like you're losing this fucked up friend who is
Yeah.
or support who is around you. You know, you're giving
Yeah.
that away. Um, yeah, I've got a story. It's kind of fucked up, but I was thinking about, so because I managed a party club in Mykonos, a big crazy party club over there.
Wow.
And I'd never really done cocaine until I went there, and then it so happens that the entire club, in fact, that entire island, is run on cocaine. And so I started doing it to a ridiculous level. But the crazy thing was that it's so common over there. Like families do it, literally. Like
Oh
you'll have
my
the
God.
grandparents and the parents at the beach naked, because they also go. A lot of them go to the beach naked. It's like normal with the kids and everything. And the grandparents that they'll all kind of sit around and do blow with each other. So it
Oh,
changed my
geez.
whole.
What?
Yeah,
I'm
man.
so glad that I don't live there, because I
No.
want to
So
see my grandma strung out naked on the beach.
yeah, it changed my whole
Yeah.
mindset. It was really weird because I had this idea of like, if I do blow one time, I'm going to be addicted and like it's going to suck or whatever. And then because it was so common and normal, then I just started doing it regularly. And then it was sort of like coffee, you know, because I'd
Yeah.
be up all night with this club. But the whole time I was like, yeah, this is all fine. And then I remember halfway through the season, I woke up and then I coughed up this huge ball of like bloody powdered like cocaine mixed with mucus, and coughed it up and felt dizzy
Ew.
looking at
Oh
it.
my God.
And I remember being like, oh my God, that's horrific. And then but then was like, oh well, what do you do? And sort of went back to it again. But I remember thinking, if that had have happened on the first day, the first time I tried cocaine, it would have been like, that's it for me, never again.
Right?
But because like 6 months in and you're doing it every day and you're like, yeah, well,
Eh,
it's kind of fucked up, but it's fine, you know. And it was kind of like I started like bargaining. I'm like, well, once I finish here on the island, I'm not going to take it again anyway, so it's fine, you know. I'll just
Yeah.
stick with it for the next 6 months or whatever, and there'll be no problems. But you do justify these things in your head.
Yeah. You
In a
draw
weird
like a
way.
line in the sand, and always you end up crossing it.
I was putting literal lines in the sand and then
Oh
snorting
Yeah.
my
them
God.
on the beach.
And then you were
Mykonos.
snorting them.
Yeah, exactly. With Grandpa Joe, Grandpa
Grandpa
Carlos.
Joe.
My mom would live for that. My mom actually kind of like has talked about wanting to live in a nudist colony. That's like
Okay.
one of her goals in life, I
Well,
guess.
that's a very achievable goal. I think she
Y-
could make that one happen, no
Well,
problems.
yeah, considering she has no responsibilities now at this point, she can do whatever she wants.
Um, I wanted to ask about so you went to these sober houses, I guess.
Yes.
So I'm curious about these, right? Because I think you get the stigma of like, this is a boring sober place, but then it's full of
Oh, it's
all of
so
these.
fun.
Yeah, I wonder about this.
It
Um,
was so much fun. I still am in contact with two of the girls that I roomed with. Um, and it's like I wasn't part of a sorority, so I'm gonna say it's definitely not like a sorority. Uh, but, but sorority house type of setup. Like the house that I lived in was beautiful, and it was by the water, and usually they're massive, beautiful homes that they've just transformed into like multi-person living. But you have like a house leader or a house mom. And she usually has the biggest, best room and doesn't have to pay rent. But she keeps everybody in track and like make sure that people are going to their meetings because every house has different rules, like different curfew, different everything. Like some you have to go to 3 meetings a week, some you have to go to 3 meetings a day. Like it all is dependent on the house rules.
This sounds almost exactly like a sorority.
It's yeah,
Uh,
with just a bunch of recovering drug addicts. But there's some weird stuff that happens, obviously, because it's a sober house, so it has to have its weird things happening. But the first night that I moved into the sober house, one of these girls that I lived with ate a bunch of Tide Pods for some reason. I
Ah,
no idea
a
why.
bunch of what?
Tide Pods.
What the hell is that?
it was a
They're
fad.
like laundry soap pouches, but she wasn't even I don't even think she was
Oh,
doing it as part of the fad.
I know what
I
they are.
think she was like either trying to get messed up off them or was high on something and thought they were something else and was like, we had to call 911 because she wouldn't stop eating laundry pods.
Oh, she wouldn't
She
stop.
wouldn't stop. She was like, they were
Ah,
irresistible to her and she just wouldn't. We're like trying to take these away from her and she just kept getting the bag back.
You should have just fed us some laundry. Just give us some dirty socks or something, and she can eat those
No,
and wash them.
she wanted those Tide Pods.
it's going right back into the spin dry.
No one got my joke. Just
I got it.
it's okay.
Yeah, they
It's just a bad joke.
they did
No
send her
problem.
they sent her back. They did.
Sent her back to rehab.
Yeah, they sent her back to rehab and she was only allowed to come back to the house if she did another spin dry.
Is that a joke? Is that like
No,
literally
that's
like?
real. That's very real. But we found a bunch of empty boxes of like Benadryl and like nighttime sleep meds, like over the counter stuff. So we assume that she just went a little nutty like after having all these sleep meds and then ate the Tide Pods in return. So that was my first night there and I was like, wow, this place is crazy.
But that makes it fun, right? That makes you want to stay.
Does it?
Yeah.
So as an addict, you love chaos and that's what you're used to. So it kind of feels comfortable and normal. If
Especially with your mum.
Yes, if I went there and they're like, sorry, we're reading Catcher in the Rye at 8 o'clock, you need to come to Circle now, I would be very uncomfortable.
That's why I asked because it does. I always do have that thing where like in movies it's always like this is the sober and they're all like religious or very yeah
Kumbaya.
like that.
And so some of them are like how you see in the movies. And I've not personally been to those ones, but I know people who have been to those ones and they're very strict and very structured and they have very high success rates because of that. This was not one of those places. This was like bottom of the barrel, beautiful location,
Mm.
very kind girls, but poorly managed and just basically like a house for us to be in.
But I think, like, if you're going to rehab, it should be a little bit fun because you want to know that life can be fun without having to, be off your face.
Yeah, and there's something maybe it doesn't sound so crazy, but there is something like very special about the people you meet in rehab because you are at the lowest low. Like you are not okay. If whoever you are meeting in there, you're all on the same page. You're all basically right now pieces of shit. At least you feel like it. Um and most of them have nothing. Like nobody wants anything from you. Like it's just you're all there to like heal and you hear some like serious stuff. Like some people come there and they take it really seriously. Um and it's you just like I still have relationships with people I met in rehab. Some are sober now, some aren't sober, but these are people that have heard your deepest, darkest things. They've heard parts of your addiction that you can't tell anybody else that would just look at you like you're like a monster. And they don't judge you. And you can't even wear makeup in there. They make you can't wear makeup. You can't like you get no like special clothes or anything. You have to wear like scrubs.
Can you have chocolate?
So like they don't give you coffee or candy or like sugar. They try to feed you healthy. They make you eat 3 meals a day. There's always healthy snacks around, but
Okay.
no, they don't. There's not just like candy and junk food and fun food around. Like the place I was at had a salad bar that you could go to all day long and take like salads from and stuff like that, but no candy. We would trade that.
So one of my favorite TV shows is Sopranos. I think it's the best show ever made. But when Christopher goes to rehab, he's allowed cigarettes. He's actually encouraged to bring cigarettes, but no candy because it's a stimulant.
Yes, yeah, and that's true.
I was doing research on rehab in preparation for this because I thought we'd talk about this. And one of the things that I found was that with the success rates, it doesn't matter what type of program it is. So 5-step, 2-step, 10-step, whatever, there's all different ones. If it's religious or strict or unstrict, what does matter is the community that's there and how stable the community is.
Well, that's kind of like what I was saying earlier is I had to do like all the things that they suggest. And part of doing all the things that they suggest is finding community. And like that's why AA is so important. And there's other fellowships outside of AA. AA was just my fellowship, but AA gives you people who are like-minded going through the exact same thing you're going through when you're going through it. And I think that's so important early on is to have AA and to have people who are also not trying not to drink and trying to be a better person. Because like, why would you go and then surround yourselves with the same people that you were doing like bad things with? And so I do think that's true because like from my experience, what worked for me was getting heavily involved in AA and just surrounding myself with people who were doing the same exact thing I was doing.
Do you still attend meetings regularly? Is that a thing?
I don't regularly go to meetings now that I have the kids, which isn't, you say that to anybody in a meeting and they'll be like, that's not a good excuse. I don't regularly go, but I do still when I'm doing air quotes right now when I'm called upon, which is what it is. Like if somebody was like, hey, I need a speaker tonight, you're supposed to say yes to those things. And I would say yes. If somebody asked me to go to a meeting and participate, I would say yes. And sometimes like I probably go to 2 or 3 a year now. It's just like when I'm feeling like I need a reminder why I stopped drinking, I'll go. But it's not, I luckily am one of the people who, by the grace of God, the desire to drink was completely removed. Like I don't fight it. I could go sit in a bar and watch everybody drink and it's not going to make me want to drink, which is crazy because I used to literally not even be able to physically stop myself from drinking. Like
you talk about being called upon. I mean, I think that's pretty awesome, being called upon to come and talk, because you have achieved something great. Like your bar got set back because obviously you were quite young when this happened, and so you're just getting back to normal was quite a journey for you. But the fact that you did that and got through all of that, you achieved something that many people can't. And you achieve that by the age of 23. So I guess, there's a well-roundedness to you, but I think there's also a wisdom there of someone much older than you. I sense that anyway.
Yeah, I think I'm lucky. I'm very lucky that it didn't turn me into, like, I don't know. I feel like it could have turned out a lot of ways, and I'm glad that I turned out this way and was able to heal from some of it.
You're not bitter at all. You don't sound bitter in any way.
No.
Which I think that could definitely happen.
No. I fully believe too that like I'm one of the everything happens for a reason, like, which I know like some people are like it doesn't have to, that doesn't make sense. Like for me, I like when I look at my kids, I'm like, okay, every crap thing that happened led me to these kids. So obviously I had to go through whatever it was I had to go through to get to here, to get to them, to get to that point.
Yeah, it's a great outlook.
Man, I I really enjoy talking to you, and there's so much stuff because you've got a lot of life experience from things that I know nothing about. Um, it's like when we did the episode about the psych ward with Dad, and I was like really interested in the psych ward because it's a whole world that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
And it's the same with rehab. I have that same interest.
Rehab is, yeah, it was a crazy, crazy place. I heard a lot of things. I saw a lot of things. I learned a lot, but overall, it saved my life. So,
I do want to circle back to your mum with rehab, and I don't think we need to go too much longer. I think we could maybe at some point do another episode, or maybe you just do regular episodes at this point. But you said in the other episode that your mum like had the audacity to ask, "How did we get here?" when she first dropped
yes.
you off to rehab. Um,
Yes.
so how was she a part of this whole thing, and how did that work?
So, first of all, the first time that I went to rehab, it was October of 2015. And I fell down onto my mom's bed and I had an exceptionally long weekend, really ran myself into the ground, and something just came over me and I said, I need help. And the second I said it, I just like opened my eyes and looked at her and I was like, wait, did I just actually say that out loud? And she was like clapping and all excited to like call rehab and take me to rehab.
Oh
And
my
she's like, I've been
god!
waiting for this. And she
Had
was
she
like,
been to rehab?
yes. And
Okay.
I had taken her to rehab. I drove her. At this point, I had
Oh,
driven 3 people in my family to the rehab she was about to drive me to.
Oh my god.
Um, but yeah, so we're like on the way there, I'm drinking, and it was like when you go through this rehab process, you don't just call them and then you get in. You call, and sometimes they have a bed, and sometimes they'll be like, hey, you have to call back tomorrow, or we're not going to have anything for like 2 days. And you have to be consistent to show that you really mean it, you know. And so there was a couple days between when I said I needed help and when I actually went. So in that time frame, she had me held hostage and was like supplying me with my booze to keep me alive, basically. Um, but she was also feeding me Adderall. And like so which like I wasn't asking for, but she'd be like, "Hey, do you want a line?" And I'm like an alcoholic about to go to rehab. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "Yeah." And so I'm like doing lines of Adderall with her as I'm waiting to go into rehab. And then like she's crying on the way there, and she's just like remember be like, "I don't know how we got here." And I'm just like thinking back to all these times of like before this point. So when she took me, I'm 22, 23, 22, because I didn't get sober until 23. So I was 22 when I started trying to get sober.
Mhm.
22, and she had been supplying me booze, occasionally Xanax, Adderall, had offered me cocaine when I was a teenager, to which I had said no.
Wow.
Um, like knew that I was using cocaine recreationally with friends and encouraged it. Like so it was just shocking to me that she really like didn't see how she played a part in that, but she very much like fueled my addiction, and misery loves company. So she had no problem with me like drinking with her. If I were to call her today and say, "Mom, I'm so sorry that we haven't talked in forever. I relapsed and I'm drinking," she would be excited. I genuinely think she would be excited that I fell off the wagon, and she would love to have a drink with me.
that's disgusting.
And I don't doubt that. I don't doubt it at all. When she picked me up from that rehab she dropped me off at, I had intentions of staying sober. She picks me up and she's messed up on whatever she had taken, probably pills, and she's tired and exhausted, and making it very clear that this is like not what she wants to be doing, picking me up from here. But I'm excited. I have this new lease on life. I'm going to get sober. I had been going to meetings here and there. I'd like pop up at a meeting and just sit in the back and not really say anything, but I would occasionally take a 24-hour chip if I had a desire to stop drinking. And when my mom picked me up, I was like, Mom, I want you to take me to this meeting that I used to go to because I want to show them that I've been sober for like 5 days. It was the longest I had been sober in, like, I think 10 years at that point, almost 10 years. And she's like, I'm not going to take you there. She's like, but if you just want to knock out at my house, I'll give you a Xanax and we'll figure something out tomorrow. And I'm like, I can't take that. And like, she genuinely didn't. She's like, why? You didn't have a problem with Xanax? I'm like, but it's not prescribed to me. And that's what they told me in there, that I can't take things that aren't prescribed to me.
And why
that's
risk it?
not
Right?
how it works.
Like, why?
Yeah, and like, you just picked me up from rehab. Like, why are you offering me something that's not mine? A benzo. It's not like you're offering me like an 800 milligram ibuprofen. You're offering me benzodiazepines.
Did she get clean completely? Like, would she get on the wagon?
No.
And then so she go to rehab, but she'd never actually clean up ever.
She went to rehab one time.
Okay.
And it was 2011. And it was the only time that she went to rehab. It was after her crack binge had gone wild, after she had the meth overdose in Los Angeles. She had come home. Everybody was really sick of her shit. So she needed to do something big to win the people back. And she went to rehab. And then she went to aftercare from rehab and like seemed to be turning over a new leaf. I went to go visit her at this aftercare place, and I walk out into the backyard, and it's this like beautiful old Victorian mansion by the beach in this little seaside town. It's gorgeous. And it's a sunny summer day, and my mom's wearing overalls and has her hair in like braids, like a double braids to the side, and she's just got her face to the sun, and she just like putting the sun on her face. And I like go up to her and I'm like, hi, and she's like, hi. And she's like this peaceful sunbeam overall wearing, like, who are you? Like, Mother Teresa? What is this? Like, this is not my mom. It was like this whole new person had arrived, but then she got kicked out of that place like a week later because she snuck a phone in her, I don't know if it was her butt or her vagina, whichever one. She snuck a phone in one of the holes. So she didn't change that much. She got kicked out of there.
I enjoy how matter-of-factly you told that part of the story and then didn't realize that we were going to react to it at all.
I was going to just like, I was gonna like use code words, but I'm like, I'm just gonna say it how it is. She boofed it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so she got kicked out for sneaking in a phone, and then she went to a less strict sober living facility where she still tried to play the family like she was getting sober, but she's like got a roommate who's a nurse she's like a CNA, and CNAs here work more in like care facilities. And so it's easier, I think, for them to steal drugs, because she was stealing drugs from work. And my mom was like getting drugs from her roommate and doing whippets like in the grocery store with whipped cream with a roommate, and telling us about it, but then also going to AA meetings and being like, I love recovery. And I'm over there like, I'm pretty sure this isn't how it works. And then a couple years later, when I got sober, I was like, yeah, that's definitely not how it works.
Who pays for this rehab?
My stepdad paid for it. It was really, I wish, I'm gonna look up how much money this place was, because it's expensive.
Is your stepdad loaded? Like,
he is very wealthy.
Okay.
It's $1 million house. I can't find how much it costs to go there, but this house is listed for like $1.15 million.
I mean, it sounds nice.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good place, and they have a very high success rate. And had she taken it seriously, she could have done maybe great things. But instead, she decided that she needed a phone, and she was going to get it at any cost.
She set it to vibrate and just slammed it straight inside of her. And
you know what? This isn't the first time. Like, she snuck seeds in her butt or she put seeds on her butt to get through airport security, like marijuana seeds. So
Okay.
she's very comfortable
I thought this
shoving
was like
things.
some kind of fertilizing technique or something that I didn't know about. But
Oh,
okay,
no.
so she
No.
Oh
It
my
is,
God.
it is what it is.
it's like just imagine a plant growing out of her. Anyway, whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
They would have been in like a baggie or something. She's not just putting
yeah, straight
just
seeds in there.
random seeds in a butthole.
they were wrapped in tinfoil. I only saw them. I only saw the
Oh.
tinfoil.
Tinfoil's charm.
But I don't. No, I was gonna say I don't know what was around the tinfoil, but I only saw the tinfoil
So
part.
it's like
I only saw the unraveling of the seeds.
it's like she wrapped them in razor blades, and then like
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
much.
what.
tinfoil.
Ah.
I like
That was not her best thinking.
Yeah, but she didn't get busted. She got it through.
Yeah, she got it through.
It's also, don't they have metal detectors? What would she just say?
And
I've got a metal hip or something.
I don't know how she did it. So she was arguing. First of all, she argued with TSA. She also had banana bread with her when she did this
not
too.
in her rectum as well, though. Obviously.
No, not
okay.
there.
Okay, that's.
She also had banana bread with her, and they wanted to check the banana bread, and my mom was yelling at them about checking the banana bread and was like, "Don't you dare mess up that banana bread because my Nana made that for my kids, and my kids are waiting back home on the East Coast for that banana bread." And they bought it. So like maybe she could have been an actress. Maybe. Because they didn't even inspect these. They were wrapped like bricks. They looked like bricks of very suspicious stuff. They were brown banana bread loaves, but they were weed bread, not regular banana bread.
For the first time during this episode, that image of your mum like screaming over banana bread while she's got things hidden inside of her rectum, I will say again that she does sound cool at that moment. That's so brazen. I just think that's such a brazen thing. It's kind of cool. Like, I mean, you gotta.
She's very brazen. It's kind of like that, like, you know, hidden in plain sight type of thing. Like, you wouldn't assume, because why would somebody do that? You know,
it wasn't hidden. It was hidden in out. There's some sort of joke here about hiding it inside. Anyway, but I can't put it together. I don't have enough comedic.
Hidden in plain ass.
Yeah, she's just something. Yeah, she's a character.
She definitely is.
She's a character.
I think we probably should wrap this up soon because I've got so much here. I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to? And I want to say as well, I don't think your mum's cool. I take that back. I was just joking. I take it back. I said enough of that last time. I don't endorse putting banana bread in your It wasn't the banana. Anyway, whatever. I don't endorse that. Eat the banana bread. Don't.
No, not endorsing shoving things where they don't belong.
That is
understood.
Yeah. But is there anything else you want to add, or you missed, or you feel like you want to put out there?
There's one crazy thing that I think just goes. I think it's a good example of how a narcissist manipulates families, kind of, and how crazy things can get spun like this, and it's relevant to like the time frame of rehab and stuff. But around the time when I went to rehab, for my what was my final time, when things got really bad, because every time I got out, it got progressively a little bit worse. Like, it didn't get any better. Like, I would go in, get out, relapse, and it would just be worse. And towards the end, it was really bad. And I also didn't know that I was bipolar at this point. So I was unmedicated bipolar and an raging alcoholic. And I was really going through a lot mentally. And my mom basically held me hostage in her house because she was worried. This was like around a time where I was going to go back to rehab. And so she was holding me hostage in her house so that I didn't stop drinking and like get hurt or whatever. But she was being like evil to me while I was there. And so I ran away from my mom and I ran to a friend's house. And my mom found me at the friend's house and she beat the shit out of me.
What?
And I had a black eye, and so she beat the shit out of me, put me in her car and drove me back to her house. And then I ran away again because I was scared, obviously. And I'm like 22, 23 when this is happening. Like, I'm not a kid, I'm an adult.
Holy shit.
Still young, but an adult. And she put me back in her car, took me back to her house. I ran away again, and I went to a friend's house, and my friend found me unresponsive and had to call 911. And so 911 came, took me to the hospital. The hospital calls my emergency contact, who's my mom. And my mom is trying to get me into her car, and I'm freaking out because I don't want to go with her because she had just beaten me like the day or two prior to this. And I didn't want to go in the car, and I was freaking out. And eventually my dad came and got me because I wouldn't go with my mom. But I had a huge black eye on my face from my mom attacking me. And my mom told everybody that she found me that way and that I had overdosed on heroin, which I had never, ever touched heroin. But when the rescue team found me unresponsive the following day, it wasn't because of a drug overdose. It was because of a head injury.
Holy shit.
Oh.
And I didn't know that until my mom tried to get that restraining order on me last year. And I said, you know what? You want to come at me? I'm going to go get all my old records against you. And I found the police report. And I found it written in there that they had found me unresponsive with a head injury, and that I explained to them the story of what happened with my mom, and that the town that I live in was going to press charges against her. And that it finally made sense why the police kept coming to me and they were asking me to press charges on my mom, but my mom was swearing up and down. Mind you, at this point, I still hadn't clearly seen like her for who she was. She's swearing up and down that she found me that way and that I had a drug overdose. And I'm like, okay. And then she ended up also on her TikTok page, a video or two below the video where she made the meme about my kids, the one that ended up her calling the police on me for. There was a video of her pretending to knock me out, and it said like the caption on it was something like, when your teenage daughter tries to get mouthy with you or something. And then it also like written on the picture was like, she tried this once before and it didn't work out well. And it was like her like pretending to knock me out, and then like the screen editing, like eyes opening and her being like, oh, hi, you're not going to do that again, are you? And I was like, you are a fucking psycho. I'm like, so not only has she made a video admitting that she punched me in the face, she slipped a couple years ago and said, oh yeah, that time I saw red and I just like punched you in the face. And I'm like, wait, so you did punch me in the face? And she's like, well, yeah, but you were so intoxicated. There was no talking to you, blah, blah, blah. And then I find this police report stating that they had found me and they believed me. And that's why they were going after her so hard.
That's crazy. That whole story is crazy. And it's funny too, because at the start you said that you got more mentally abused, but your brother got more physically abused. But it doesn't. It sounds like you got a fair batch of both by the sounds of things.
Yeah. So that's like obviously not a story that I'm like, oh yeah, this story needs to be told. But I think that's a story that like she abused me and then lied about it and was able to lie about it to my family and then manipulate me to believe that what I remembered wasn't true, and then create a situation where I believed something that I knew I would never do happened, which is doing heroin. Like, okay, maybe I did do that. I don't know. I haven't been right lately. Like maybe I did that and that's why I don't remember anything. No, I didn't remember anything because I had a head injury.
Yeah, she's not cool
No,
at all.
Yeah,
not
she's not cool.
She tries to be cool, and she could be cool if she was a better person, but overall she's just abusive and manipulative, and
She's a shit person.
yeah. I don't think she likes me because and I'm not saying this to be like, oh, I'm a great person, but like I don't have to try to not be like her. Like I can just be me as is. I'm just me. Like I don't have to try. And she has to try really, really hard to be like semi-normal. And she still struggles.
Well, she just surrounds herself with people that feed her ego,
Yeah.
and you're not feeding her ego. So
Yeah. I refuse to do it.
good. That's good. It's healthy.
Yeah.
That story actually made me a bit sad. It's a horrible thing. I'm sorry that happened to you.
I have a health condition. It's called dysautonomia, but it basically I can get really riled up just on like emotions and stuff like that. Like, and not having contact with my mom has actually like benefited my health.
Mm.
Like I no longer have certain symptoms that I was struggling with before. Like she was like having a relationship with her was actually causing me like physical symptoms.
Yeah, she's toxic.
And now I'm like, I don't have them. Like literally toxic.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I'm glad she got away.
yeah.
And I have to say, you sound like just a wonderful, normal person now. Like you
Oh,
sound like
thank
a great
you.
mum. Yeah.
You.
And
I
like a
try.
good person.
I try. I just want to be happy and make my art and be a mom and just like live a peaceful life.
I'll
all.
second what Aria said, but I don't think you sound normal. I actually think you sound super interesting and exceptional with what you've been through as well. So
Thank you guys.
far out. Okay, we are going to finish up because I don't want to keep you here forever.
I'm not going to pad things out this time with any hot takes or anything like that. We had a great time talking with Maggie, and I just don't think there's much of value that we can add to what's already been said. So without further ado, here is what you can expect. Next time on Walking on Eggshells with an Emotional Vampire.
And I pull my husband into my grandparents' bedroom, and I like pull this like sliding door shut. And I'm like, do you know what my dad just said? He's like, what? Like, he just came out to us. My dad's with a man. And my husband goes, oh, well, I mean, yeah. Didn't you figure something?
If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. Walking on Eggshells with an Emotional Vampire is recorded, edited, and produced by me, Lucas Shaw. Thanks for listening.